What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today's video is all about Facebook ads and whether it's actually worth it for your business. Now, in the last 2 weeks within my video agency, I've had a few different people come to me and ask me whether it's worth running Facebook ads. Now, this is a common question I often get asked. And in today's video, I'm actually going to go through a few different things that you need to consider, a few different questions you need to ask yourself, almost like an assessment for your business. Before you go any further into this video, if you run an e-commerce store and or offer products, this video is not for you. This video is more so for service providers, people who offer a service, digital agencies, coaches, online businesses, people who offer a service. So if that's you, then you're in the right place. Watch through this video. I'm sure you'll get a lot of tips. Let's roll the intro. So if you're brand new to this channel, my name is Alan, how we talk all things bringing out the very best in you, your uniqueness, so that you can bring that to your life, to your business, and everything else in between. So if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more videos, more valuable videos like this. Okay, so today I've got a little bit of a whiteboard to go through and help me guide you through some notes that I've got, and effectively a little small business assessment on whether Facebook ads is right for your business. Effectively today, what we're going to first go through is what's called the buying demand. Now, just imagine we have 100 people who potentially sit within an audience who may be interested in your product and or your service that you offer. Now, we have these different percentages here. So we've got 3%, 7%, 30%, 30, 30, okay? And if my maths is correct, that will equal 100%, okay? So we have different levels of where people basically sit in regards to if they're actually interested in your product and or your service for what it is that you do and offer, okay? Now, at any given moment, there's always 3% who are ready to buy right now. They're ready to make a quick decision because they're either financially capable of affording your product and or service, they have a need that needs to be met and they're ready to have that need met. Now, given it's only 3% of your market, you also need to consider that this 3% is the most competitive market available. And just depending on what industry you're in, people are spending big dollars to attract this particular client, okay? Now, I want to give you some tips, tricks, bits and pieces so that not only you establish whether Facebook ads are right for you, but how you can also establish is if Facebook ads aren't right for you as well. Have 7% who are open to your offer. They are either in the market for what you're doing, they have, whether that's the ability of time, they need to save up the money, whatever the case is, but they're open and they know that they have a need, or they're open to what you offer. Now, we have this next tier, which is the 30%, and that's interested. Now, these are people who may still need that little bit more time as well. This is potentially people within the next 90 to 120 days, or even past 30 days, that still need time, still need to get their shit together because they know they are going to need someone who offers the exact services that you offer, but they just need time, they need more finances, they need to get things approved. They're interested in potentially having initial conversations or at least establishing before they do get to this ready point. We have another 30% that are not concerned, okay? That's because potentially they know that they will need someone in the future, but they're not really concerned because there's other more important things on their plate, whether it's life, business, whatever the case is. They may be interested in your product and or service in the future, however, they're just not ready to make that decision now, and it's really not on their radars. And then the last one is not interested. So these are people who are effectively either already have someone who they know is going to solve their problem, they already know what it is that they're going to do, and don't have any consideration for the fact that you potentially offer a great product and or service, and effectively you don't want to be spending a lot of time and attention on these people trying to convert the unconvertible. I will come back to this a little bit more in detail, but this is really important to understand that this 3% that most people are targeting is the most competitive 3% in your market. So our next question is, what is a customer worth to your business? This is really important. Now, obviously most businesses will have operating expenses, and in your product and or service, you'll have margins, whether that's because you've got staff, because of all of the different bits and pieces that make up your business. Now, if you don't know yet what a customer is worth to you, because you've relied on referrals, you've relied on foot traffic, because you've relied on other aspects that don't cost you money, this is something you need to establish beforehand, because whenever you speak to someone who's going to offer, the greatest Facebook ads, the greatest way to, generate you results and everything else, if you don't know how much you're comfortable on spending before you walk through the door, before you have that conversation, you're going to feel, unless you really, really trust the person, you're going to feel like, you know what, I'm just not sure, I'm just not right, and I don't know whether this is the right exercise. Now what I do want to say is that, like anything, you don't know what you don't know, and Facebook ads could be the golden bullet that helps you grow your business. It could also not be, okay? And for this reason, you need to go in ready to test, trial, and really understand, is this something that is going to help me grow my business? Not being emotionally attached to how much you need to understand, and not being attached to whether you do get results or not. If you get results, great. It's a factor that works for your business, but if it doesn't work, then it's not such a big deal. And if you're not in that mindset where you're prepared to spend money to see whether this is going to work for you or not, then Facebook ads is not right for you. Now, just on this topic, what is a customer worth to your business? Again, if you, just as a golden rule for a service provider, someone who offers a service, if you can't spend more than $200 to generate a customer, okay, keeping in mind that depending on how your business works, the cycle of your business, you're willing to spend this money to generate that customer because you're thinking long term. But if you're not willing to spend $200 to generate a customer, I can immediately tell you that Facebook ads is not right for you. Again, this is not related to e-commerce, this is just related to service providers. If you're not willing to spend more than $200 to generate a client and or customer, this is not right for you. The next thing you need to establish is how desirable is your offer. This obviously comes down to what it is that you're offering. And if you have already established that your product and or service works through the organic marketing, through, face-to-face referrals, whatever the case is, this is a very, very good indicator whether it is your specific offer that is desirable and that you can then scale it through Facebook ads. And if you don't believe your offer is desirable enough just yet, this is where it can come down to having a really effective promise and or guarantee to get someone over the line and to put those things in place to make sure that your offer is extremely desirable, it's extremely wanted, maybe it's time sensitive because you're doing some sort of offer or some sort of whatever the case is. But the more desirable that your offer is, and it's just outside of the normal buy my services or buy what it is that I offer, you can make it into a desirable way. This is going to be one of the keys to running effective Facebook ads. Now, my last question, and this is probably the most important question that will wrap up everything I've talked about here so far, is are you willing to wait 90 to 120 days before your transaction, okay? Now this is where this number comes in. This is where these numbers also come in, okay? Because here's the thing, if you're not willing to wait that amount of time before you generate a client, again, Facebook ads is probably not right for you. Businesses, big, medium to large size businesses, or even smaller businesses who really get and understand this, know the numbers behind their business. They know how much it costs to generate a client through Facebook ads. And that's why they're pumping money to generate clients into this 3% over here. Now, If you're looking at Facebook ads for the very first time and you're concerned about your competition and everything else and wanting to have an upper hand in what it is that you do and offer, this is where it comes back to understanding what is your desirable offer. What is something that you can promise and or guarantee that has people salivating at the mouth for your product and or service. Now, the other reason why I've said 90 to 100 days is because here's the thing. In your product and or service, you can obviously target this 3%, but if you're willing to target this 67% here that are either open to what it is that you offer, interested in what you're offering, and or not concerned but may be interested in the future, this is where the gold is, okay? This is 67% of your market, okay? Now, everyone is so fixated on this 3% because it's buy right now and it's instant gratification. If you can play the long game and target this 67% of your market using assets like video, whether it's podcast, whether it's PR, whether it's building a YouTube channel, these are the sort of assets that help you to generate the interest and help you educate your audience on the desirable offer that you have. Running Facebook ads could literally be as simple as offering something extremely valuable to someone for free or for a very, very low price, whether it's under $10, and simply collecting someone's details because you're willing to wait 120 days before someone is ready to make that decision. And if you then are able to wait that time using different assets to educate your audience, nurture them with value. And so when I say $200, keep in mind you may generate leads for $5, $10 or something ridiculous like that. Great. Now, how many leads do you need to generate before someone actually becomes a client and or customer? If you are nailing this and you're able to, get your numbers really low, or you've found a desirable offer that suits you and it works within your margins and everything else, then yes, Facebook ads is right for you. If you need clarification on anything that I've mentioned here, please drop a comment below. I'd love to answer any questions that you do have. Again, what I'd like to sort of just cap off and say is that Facebook ads are worth it, but you need to establish yourself. You need to establish, have you even proven your offer and or what it is that you do organically first before you go out and spend money to scale it? Have you established how much you're willing to spend on your client? Because obviously, especially if you take up an agency, that agency will have some sort of retainer to build out things like landing pages and or manage the Facebook ads for you. And if you're not sure on what that number is, on how much you're willing to spend to generate a client and or prepared to have a set budget to go through this exercise, then this is going to be a disastrous thing for you and your business. So if you have any other questions, make sure you drop a comment below. I will get to them. Even feel free to reach out to my email. I'll leave that down below as well. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. I'm gonna love you and leave you. Go get it.